1974, Tobe Hooper released his debut feature, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The movie's about a bunch of old people on a road trip across America who make the fatal mistake of stopping at the home of a bunch of redneck cannibals, and it's one of the most shocking and disturbing movies ever made. I can only imagine the impact this had in the 70s horror audience. Part of why this works as well as it does is that you think you see more violence than you actually do. And on top of that, the scenario that the characters find themselves in this movie is totally believable. And bizarrely, Tobe Hooper thought this would get a PG. How in the name of Jesus did he think this would ever get a PG cert? Was he off his tits and cocaine? It being the 70s, that's entirely possible. Sticking with bizarre Texas Chainsaw Massacre trivia, the original title for this movie was Head Cheese. I wish I was making that up. Head Cheese does not sound like a gritty and disturbing redneck cannibal flick. It sounds like a shitty sex comedy. Thankfully they went with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know, come to think about it, calling this movie The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is an extremely misleading title, as only one person gets killed by a chainsaw. Really, they should have called this The Texas Incident with One Chainsaw Death. I'm really nitpicking about the misleading title it has, as it is commonplace for horror exploitation movies to have eye-catching titles that may or may not have anything to do with the content of the film in order to get bums on seats. And it was remade. Of course it was. I'd love to be able to get in front of the camera and rip it to shreds. However, as horror remakes go, it was serviceable. It's not amazing, it's not crap, it's perfectly adequate. If you're a horror fan and you're watching this and you've yet to see The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you owe it to yourself to check it out. It's one of the most important horror films of all time. It's gritty, dark and deeply disturbing. And I'm not saying this is an easy watch, because it's not. But as a fan of the genre, you owe it to yourself to watch it at least once. And that concludes my look at the extremely influential horror flick The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Until the next episode.
That's all you get, jerk!